guys, today's video is going to be on this kind of artistic, fun, faded ombre blue eyeliner. I think it's super fun to play with brighter colors, especially when summer is just right around the corner. Hallelujah, by the way. I've been really inspired by a lot of my Instagram feed lately of certain people that I follow. Been doing really cool eyeliner looks, and I was like, you know what? I want to get in on this. Sam from Battleash specifically, she did a really cool eyeliner look. You guys have probably seen it, to be honest. Like, who doesn't follow Samantha? I don't typically on a day-to-day basis wear super colorful like eyeshadow, but you bet your sweet hiney that I'll have some fun with some colorful eyeliner. So yeah, if you guys want to know how to do this look, then let's just get right into it. Okay, so I already primed my eye with my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. That is my favorite thing to prime my eye with. You guys probably know this because I use it all the time. And I just did a quick swipe over the top of that with this kind of skin tone color up here in the Chocolate Bar palette. So I'm gonna go into this kind of neutral orangey brown color, and I'm using the Smith 232 blending brush. It's kind of the biggest blending brush of the set, and I'm just going to place this in the crease. This is just gonna act as a transition shade. I really like using kind of orangey toned eyeshadows to do in the crease as a transition. So I'm just taking this into the crease, and I'm kind of blending it up quite a ways, not all the way up to my eyebrow, of course, but I'm just kind of blending it higher than I normally would, just because I want this to be like a really, really like blown out smoky look. And something that I kind of like to do that helps to blend it up even higher is just kind of hold the angled brush like this, the brush angled like this, angle the brush like this, so it kind of just blends as you go. And I'm just extending it a little bit past my lash line. This just kind of helps make your eye look bigger. So I'm going to take a mixture of these two shades. One is this kind of darker matte brown, and then this is that kind of shimmery cherry color. I'm just going to mix these on this little kind of flat angled brush by Smith. It is the 253. And I'm just going to place this into the outer V of my eye. So I'm going to kind of drag it up like this. You could totally use a pencil brush if you wanted to for this step, but I really like these brushes. I'm gonna kind of hold it sideways. See how this is kind of like a pointed tip brush? I'm gonna hold it sideways like this so that it kind of blends as I put it into my crease. You could also do this with the pencil brush, like I said. If you hold it at an angle, it'll just kind of help blend along the way. I'm gonna stop it about a third of the way into my lid or crease or whatever you want to call that. And then I'm gonna blend it out. And I'm just using this Smith 230 kind of fluffy brush to blend this. And this is kind of a denser blending brush just because I don't want it to blend out too far. So I just want to kind of concentrate this color right here. So that's why I'm using a more dense brush. Man, I totally forgot I had this palette. And I'm getting to the point where I have so many eyeshadow palettes now that I like forget that I have certain ones. So, oh, and I also have another one on the way in the mail soon. I ordered the Saucebox Battleash palette. I'm super excited about it, but I kind of have a problem. I need to cool it on the eyeshadow palettes. Oh man, hang on, gotta take an edamame break. I have these dry roasted wasabi flavored edamame things, and I can't stop eating them. It's so bad. Actually, probably shouldn't be eating spicy food when I'm doing eye makeup. But don't do that. I'm just gonna take a tad bit more of those two colors on that same blending brush, and I'm just going to kind of blend these out even more. Just because you kind of lose some color when you blend for a while, so sometimes you'll find that you need to add a little bit more color and then it'll look good again. Oh man, I got like instant heartburn from those freaking wasabi beans, but I don't know how to quit you. So once it looks something like this, I'm gonna go back in with that first big fluffy brush that we used. I'm just gonna kind of soften everything up one last time. I'm gonna go back in with that same light shade that we used as a base in the beginning, and I'm gonna take this on that same little flat brush. I'm just gonna pat this all over my lid just to clean up any fallout that might have happened when we were blending in the crease. Now I'm gonna move to my lower lash line, and I'm taking this little kind of dual-ended brush from the Amrezy palette by Anastasia, And I'm just going to run that first crease shade, that kind of light tan one, under my lash line. This can be pretty messy because I'm gonna put another color in there and blend it out some more, so you don't really have to be too perfect with it. Now I'm gonna go back in with a mix of those two darker colors like I put in the outer V, and I'm gonna take this same brush, turn it sideways, and just run it underneath my lower lash line, closer to the lash line than I put the light brown. And make sure you connect it to that outer V area. I'm gonna take the same Anastasia brush and I'm just gonna blend it out again. Okay, since there's no highlight shade in this palette that's light enough for me, I'm gonna go into the Naked Basics palette and I'm gonna take Venus. It's just a slightly shimmery, lighter highlight color. I'm just gonna pop this in my inner corner. And a little bit more under my brow bone. That's the only thing that I don't really like about the Chocolate Bar palette, is that there's like no highlight that's light enough. Story of my life. Okay, so now is the fun part. I'm gonna go into the Makeup Forever Flash palette, and that is what I'm gonna be using to do the blue part of the eyeliner. And I'm gonna be using this tiny little, really super fine detail brush by Smith. It's the 202. If you don't have this brush in particular, honestly, a really good tip is to go to Michael's or Joann's or any kind of like craft store that would have paintbrushes and just get a super fine tipped paintbrush. You can find one for like $4 and it's not really gonna be that different. Okay, so I'm taking about that much on this little brush and I'm using this teal color. I'm just gonna do the basic outline of winged eyeliner. I'm gonna make it thicker than I usually would though when just doing like normal winged liner, because I wanna do black underneath it. So I wanna make sure that there's gonna be enough on here to show up underneath the black, if that makes sense. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna start at the outer corner like I normally would. And I'm following that outer V that we mapped out with the eyeshadow. So I'm just connecting this back to my eyelid and just kind of filling in as I go. This is a cream, kind of greasy feeling paint, so you might want to set this with eyeshadow when you're all done with it, like eyeshadow that matches the color of the eyeliner, obviously. If you're going to be wearing this out like a full day thing, then you'd probably want to set it with eyeshadow so it doesn't transfer to the upper part of your lid. It hasn't done that so far on me and I've been wearing it for like an hour, but I'm just throwing that out there. And you might find this kind of hard to work with if you haven't used the Makeup Forever Flash palette too much yet. I found that sometimes you need to do like 2 layers just to build it to the opacity that you want it to be. Now I'm gonna go in with the darker blue in the Flash palette. Oh, by the way, please don't mind how dirty my Flash palette is. Yeah, let's just pretend like it's not looking like that right now. I'm just using the same brush just because we're gonna be blending these colors anyways, so it doesn't really matter if you have the same color on the brush. So we're gonna be darkening it up in the outer third or so of this eyeliner with the darker blue. Gonna blend it into the turquoise that's already on my eye, and then we're gonna be placing white in the inner third of my eye just to lighten it up. So it's gonna be kind of like an ombre gradient effect. And I'm kind of going back in and putting some more of that darker blue product on my brush and just making sure that it's the darkest in that outer wing. As you can see, like I said before, you want that to be the most dark right there. So if you need to, you can go back in with your brush and just add some more of that darker blue to that wing. Now I'm going in with the white and I'm just placing this in the inner third of my eyeliner, and I don't want it to be like stark white, so I'm just going to place a little bit on it first and just blend in until it makes that turquoise color just slightly lighter. So now I'm going to be doing the black eyeliner, and I'm using the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. I'm using this one because it has a super fine tip. And I'm just taking this and I'm just going along that outer wing first, starting at the bottom, making sure that I make it all the way down to the bottom of that blue portion because I don't want any showing through. And this is gonna look kind of bad at first because, like I said earlier, the Makeup Forever Flash palette is kind of hard to do anything on the top of it because it's kind of like greasy and creamy based. So I'm just gonna do this really rough outline of how I want it to look and where I want it to be. And I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit and just do a second layer over the top. So I have the second layer on now, so it's a little more opaque, and now I'm just gonna take that same little tiny 202 brush and I'm gonna dip it into that liquid liner, and I'm gonna kind of extend that line up on the very tip top of that outer blue wing. I'm using the brush for this part just because it would be way harder to use the applicator of the liquid liner. Okay, now I'm just going to be applying some mascara, and this is the Pony Cosmetics White Night Mascara. So I'm just taking my Ardell Wispy lashes and I'm taking these on a little tweezer. And then I like to go back in after that lash is on with the eyeliner and just go really carefully over the band just to conceal any glue that might be showing up. Alright guys, so that's it for the tutorial. I really hope you guys like this video. I think it's kind of just a fun look to like kind of spice up your average everyday look. Also, I'm going to be going to Vancouver IMATS this weekend, so I'm super excited. I went last summer for the first time, and so it is my second time going. If you're going, let me know because I would love to meet you. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!